Hi everyone, welcome to another podcast episode of Real Talks, where we have real talks with successful entrepreneurs, founders, and investors. So today with me, I have Josiah, the co-founder of Chamulan. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the very exciting backstory of Chamulan, as well as the difference between the mindsets of selling a high-ticket item and a mass small-ticket item. In fact, he will also be sharing with us things like how he get into very hard to get in malls like Jewel and all, the secrets behind his business, okay? And I think one of the things that he's been teasing and sharing about with me is what the real business of Chamulan is. He tells me it's not about F&B. What it is, we'll listen more from the podcast, all right? So, Josiah, welcome to our podcast, Real Talks.
Hey, thank you so much, Zach. Good to see you after some time.
Yes, good to see you as well. And it's interesting to have you on board today because one thing is that I actually know you from our past life, previous encounters in our previous businesses. But we realized that you actually pivoted to do this Chamulan business. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it? Like what made you go into this F&B business?
Okay, so I think I shared with you a bit in the past, but then I just recount a bit. So in essence, I think the last chapter of our lives ended probably maybe 1 year, 2 years back, thereabouts. So before it ended, then there was a phase where I was, how would I say, it was basically it's a bit more tired to be awake than taking a rest and then sleep kind of stuff. Basically, I just don't feel excited, don't feel enjoying to wake up to do whatever I was doing in the past. Largely because it's not because it's not useful, it's not meaningful whatsoever. Maybe it's because it's just like that phase is just over, right? That chapter of my life is just meant to be ended, correct? So I was searching for, like what's next? What could I do? So on and so forth. And then one day, I was having breakfast with my mom at the hawker center, correct? So I was at Bedok 216, and there I was queuing at my favorite kway chap, the Chris kway chap. Okay. Then after queuing, after buying my food, after having my food already, then I was about to leave, right? Then to the corner of my eye, suddenly I saw like a signboard or like a quite a bright thing, correct? It was about 2 tables away. Then I noticed 2 person in the queue. Okay, there's one uncle and one auntie. So the uncle took a sample, and then without looking at the price, without looking at whatsoever, he just said, "Give pay, give me a cup." I thought, then the marketer and the business guy just go like, "What did the uncle just had?" Right? Like within 10 seconds, never asked price, just give pay. Then the auntie behind the uncle also same thing, took a sample, without looking at the price, without looking at the menu, she also said, "Give pay." So I double, like what just happened again, correct? So as I sat there, and before I even walked over, right, I just felt like I don't know, you call it a gravitational pull, you call it something, right? Just something that attracted me to want to go over and find out more. So I walked over, I took a sample, I liked it, I passed to my mom, she liked it, we bought a cup. But as I was sitting there drinking that particular drink, there was just like a voice within me, or like telling me that, hey, you got to be involved in this, And you know me, for the last 10 years of my life, I've never ever told anyone, or in fact, that I want to do F&B or whatsoever. But it was just there and then that I just had that attraction to want to go and do this business, correct? So I said hi to the owner of the place, and then I took a picture of my mom having the product, and then I sent it to the IG, correct? So at about the time, the business was called the Flower Mulan. In Chinese, it's called Yao Pu Chaing. So I just DM in and say, hey, my mom loved it. And I am Josiah, one of the co-founders of X Factor, and I'm a private investor. I would love to explore investing in the business and grow the business together with you. Right? So that was like day one, my first message. Because it was just you can call it a divine moment where I just knew I had to be part of this, right? So long story short, we met up, and one thing led to another, and I was not the first person who wanted to invest in the company. In fact, they just opened for about, I think, a month, and there were 3 to 4 guys who wanted to be part of it.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So my current partner, Kenneth, evaluated me together with his fiancée, Annie. So after a few weeks, and then it was a good fit. And then I hopped on board, and that's about exactly 1 year from now.
Oh.
Almost exactly 1 year from now.
Wow.
So I remember when I first did some stuff with them whatsoever and started Chamulan, basically it was October, first week, second week, roughly around now also.
I see.
Yep. So it's been a year so far, and it is a very different business compared to what
your
I used to
previous
do.
business.
Yes. Right? Because in the past, like we sell higher ticket stuff. In fact, high ticket stuff. And the whole mindset was serving premium clients. And less is more. Correct? So that was my whole mental model. But now it's different, bro. Instead of selling 10, 30, 50, 80K stuff, it's like $5, $6. And the margins are, of course, drastically different, right? And then therefore, right now, the business I'm in is super, like one is like two different ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
And but in short, it is meaningful to me.
I see. I know you have a personal story on why this Chamulan is very important to you as well, right?
Yes.
Can you share with us?
Okay. So when times like this, when I look at the revenue, when I look at the margin and all, correct, then this is where I always ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Correct. But apart from that, is also 1 or 2 months in, then I start to also really want to reflect, like, why am I actually doing this? Like, why is there you can call it a divine calling? Why is there like a voice telling me that I need to be part of this, right? So I sat down and I clearly know that it was 6 a.m. in the morning, right? So I was reflecting, why am I doing this? Not about the money or whatsoever, but just like why. So the first answer that came to me was my grandmom, right? So my grandmother used to be a very hardworking hawker together with my grandfather, because they were very poor, right? So how do you know they were very poor? Because they went to their friend's house, okay, for housewarming party, okay, and when they come back from the housewarming party, right, both of them cry. You want to make a guess why?
No idea, man.
No idea. It's because their friend's house got TV, got sofa, got all these nice stuff, right? But in their house, they got none of all these things. Okay. So when I first heard the story, I also wept because it's like I didn't know 有这么穷过, right? Correct. And then they have to go and so they went to Old Airport Road to 卖鸡饭, sell chicken rice, and they were the first row and right beside the current famous Promi, so they're friends, right? So it's very, very hot in that environment, and every single day she would want to keep herself refreshed, right? So at the point of time, the best thing was what? A can of Coke with ice, right? So right behind her store was a drink store. So she would turn and then she would just say, hey, 给我一杯 Coke, give me a Coke, right? And by the time she's 38 years old, correct, she got diabetes. But it is not a thing that will kill you, right? So it's a chronic disease. But fast forward 20 years later, guess what? One small wound couldn't heal when we went for a holiday, and then it spread. Then within 6 months of that wound got infected, right? She needed to have one leg amputated. And the 女强人 that you can see that strong woman that I used to know that always gonna cane us and discipline us, now has lost her zest of life for life, right? And then becomes like a bit like, in lack of a better word, a bit more depressed, correct? Because she can no longer take care of herself, right? But when one person loses their mobility, is a very good sign that a lot of things is going to crumble in their life, correct? So that was the first sign. Then within the next few years, guess what? The second leg got amputated because of, again, infection here and there. And the last straw was this, right? She had kidney failure. Then the doctor asked her, do you want to go for dialysis? At about time, I think she was in the very early 60s only. 61, 2, 3, I'm not too sure. And her answer was she don't want. Because in her own words, 我受够了 or like 辛苦够了, that kind of stuff, right? So she don't want to suffer anymore. And I think within a year of that diagnosis, she passed away. Not because of any of those things, but because of a heart attack, right? And in my humble opinion, all of these things happened because 30 years ago, maybe because of those stupid sugar that was in all of those products, right? That she consumed over and over again, and then ta-da, then now we accumulate all these things, right? And then what you have is now so many health failures. And eventually she passed away at, I believe, 63 there, about very, very young, correct? So as I recount this story, right, and I thought, perhaps the main reason why I was called to do this is to prevent such things from happening and to give healthier beverages to a younger generation so that in the future they don't have to go through any of these things that I've seen. Because I don't think many people have seen the side where you have to carry a disabled person up to a car. Or have you seen a person who is disabled climb up a series of flights of stairs just to prove to no one but herself, right, that she can still take care of herself? So it's very sing-swan, this kind of stuff. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is maybe a lack of, otherwise called generation trauma. So my uncle in his 60s, late 50s or 60s, almost had the same incident like my grandmother, where he had to go and amputate the legs. Right? Another family member of mine, which is my cousin, said that she has diagnosed with diabetes, I think, before 20 years old. And then she has to do a lot of other things, health problem. And in her words, right, her father has it, and Nai has it, which is grandmother has it, right? So if I have it, it's normal. So the worst thing about all this, right, is that when someone else from the later generation has it, they all think that it's normal. It's normalized, right? So it's very sad. And I hoped, and it's my goal that I can be able to help make family healthier. And therefore, that's the main thing that drives me.
I see.
So it's not about selling bubble tea. It's not about selling all these kind of drinks. Because if I want to sell more drinks, I should sell unhealthier drinks. That's easier to sell, correct? I go and sell chocolate, Milo, I don't sell matcha here and there, blah, blah, blah. Then I can sell more drinks. And I should go and franchise something else, correct? That's really proven to sell. Go and franchise a Miche, go and franchise a Lucky in a Haiti or whatsoever. But all of those things that never ever crossed my mind until that particular incident at the hawker center, right? So, so as I reflected about it, a main thing that keeps me going in business is the why.
I see.
Right? If not without this why, I think I also very sian every single day do this because there'll be challenges here and there, right? And so that is a large part of why I'm doing this business.
Is that also the reason why you have been expanding quite rapidly? I see many shops sprouting at Jewel, at Suntec. There's one coming up at Suntec, right? So you have been expanding quite aggressively, I might say. Is that the reason for the mission or?
Okay, so I can tell you the backstory. So people ask me, hey, why do you expand so fast? Or like when I first told Melvin, hey, we have like 4 to 5 stores in like the first 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Then he was like, bro, you sure or not? Like what? So the real reason is this. Okay, no one knows, but I'll tell you. It's because there is a cost to operate a kitchen to produce all of these things. Correct? So in order to defray all of these costs, right, then I have to have enough stores and enough distribution, then enough volume, right, so that I can afford this kitchen. Then you say, then why don't you get a small kitchen, or why don't you just don't have a central kitchen to do all these things, right? So in this situation, this is the smallest place that I can find to do this. It's either I have one store or I have many. It's like I cannot have in between.
Go big or go home lah.
Yeah. So it is for the economies of scale. I have to do this, and that is the reason why we needed to have more stores.
I see.
Correct. So, and as such, I will not tease the viewers any longer. I'll tell them the thing that I'm doing. So in order to have as much distribution as possible, right? So I have to get as many partners and franchisees on board. Okay. And I'm not doing the traditional way of franchising, whereby a guy needs 30, 40K to franchise, right? I just heard last weekend, a few days ago, one of my friends' acquaintance just franchised each a cup. If I recall correctly, it's between 30 to 50K. If the number...
For each a cup?
Yeah, each a cup.
Okay.
And it is at a MRT station where he, according to this, I'm the third-hand info, this friend told me that his friend just spent almost 100K on reno.
Okay.
So the total startup cost was maybe 100, 130 there about lah, somewhere around there. Okay, to start each a cup, correct? But because I wanted, I want to have more distribution as fast as possible, right? So the amount of investment to franchise a Chamulan, to own a store of your own, right, is $0. $0.
Okay.
So I did not invent this model myself, correct? I simply just learned from some of the best in the world, and then I just plug and play wherever is being useful to me. And who did I learn from? You want me to guess?
McDonald's?
They have, I believe they have more stores than
Starbucks.
They have more stores than Starbucks now. It's Luckin.
Oh, Luckin.
So
Okay.
Luckin. So quite a number of their stores is they self-own, right? But the large portion of it is they partner with what they call partners, right? Franchise partners. And then the model is $0 franchise.
Okay.
And they just take a portion of the gross profits. And for their model is the more money you make, then the more money they take the gross profits. And for us, it's a bit different. The more money you make, then the gross profits, the less we take also. Why? Because in the past, I have a tendency of wanting to win a bit more. Correct? But then now I say, if I want this to grow a bit faster and everyone win long term, then I have to let them win a bit more and win faster. Correct? So Suntec is opening in next weekend. It belongs to our franchisees.
Oh,
right? So
nice.
we just like support the marketing, so on and so forth, and then just get the word out. So at the end of the day, we just want to provide a healthier option for folks out there. And in order to make it happen, the store has to make money, everyone has to make money, right? And yep, so that's what I'm doing in a nutshell right now.
Okay. So just curious, because previously, I know you since the previous business, right?
Yeah.
So previously you were saying you're doing big ticket, high ticket, right? And now it's like mass, it's going by volume. So what do you think is the biggest shift in mindset for you when you switch the two different kind of business models?
What's my biggest shift? Yeah, because I don't think it's common to meet someone who go two different extremes, right? Like one is the margin is like 90% or higher. Then this one is very low, 15 to 20%. Right? What is the biggest mindset shift? So I had to study. So I became a student, correct? And I had to study all those successful folks in China, correct? And I tell you a story. So I went earlier this year, I went to China for a franchising conference, like a seminar. Okay. And the thing that really opened my eyes, right, is I see a 中国大妈 sitting in front of me, right? She, you know how many power shops she has? 200 plus. Okay. And how she looks like? She looks like any auntie that you see in the market. Okay. And then the husband is like any uncle you see in the market. Then the guy sitting beside me got 1 million followers. Then the guy here got like 30 gyms, that kind of stuff. Okay. So basically, it was mind expansion for me to see that people have, and their goal is like 千城万店. I mean, that's a slogan, but 千城万店means like you're in freaking 1,000 cities and like you have 10,000 stores, right? But because of the size of their country, which is perhaps they can support such a scale of expansion, and they have typically one language of communication, Chinese, and they have 1 or 2 methods of payment, which is Alipay and WeChat Pay, correct? So that whole ecosystem supports expansion, which is like us, like remember Singapore, you maxed out already, you want to go Malaysia, then you need I decide you want to speak Chinese, you want to speak English or speak Malay, correct? Or then when you go Indonesia, you speak Bahasa Indo, that kind of stuff. But for them, it's like wow, it's so much easier to scale. But of course, their competition is extremely high, right? So they innovate much faster. So the mindset to me was I had to go and learn from all these folks who had done it before me, and then I have to use whatever I can back in Singapore. Because both you and I, previous to this, I got zero experience in F&B, in retail, in any of this stuff, correct? So I'm like a young baby. It's like I start from zero. So I literally start from zero again, and I have to relearn all the useful mental models that the folks in China use to grow their franchise, right? So at the end of the day, I am in the franchise business, right? Then Chamulan and the products that we have is a vehicle, a vessel for health, right? But I need to constantly remind myself that I'm not in the F&B business. Because if I tell myself I'm in the F&B business, right, then I will always be doing the same old things, like how can I make more money with the products, the margins here and there, so on and so forth. So for me, at least in my capacity, I have to remind myself that I'm in the franchise business. How can I have more stores? How can I have more partners so that we can have a larger distribution of Chamulan? So that is the biggest mindset that I have to adopt.
That Chamulan is not an F&B business, it's a franchise business.
Yes, to me. But to the consumers, of course, yes, I have to. So there's two sides of me now. When I appear in front of a consumer, then I am the guy who is looking to give them great products and give them healthier choices at more accessible places also, correct? But when I appear before the partners, then I am the guy who is trying to promote, hey, do you want to own a store of your own? That kind of stuff, right? That you can be profitable, these are the numbers here and there, so on and so forth.
I think you roughly mentioned a little bit about the way you do things a little bit different from others, from the usual convention. And I think it can be seen where some people struggle with like 1 shop, 2 shops, but then you are on how many shops are you at now?
7 now.
7, right? And this is your first year. So what do you think you have done differently to make Chamulan so successful or pick it up as fast? I remember last time you told me a few things like the name, the packaging, all this you got spend some time thinking about it, one. And I'm sure there's many other things you've done as well, but yeah, maybe you can share some of this with us.
Okay. So first thing, I don't want to discredit any of the success and any of the things that we have so far. So I'm very grateful for that. At the same time, I'm always impressed by folks who have done it better than us also, right? So if at this pace in China, this would be probably a great F lah. But I'm still very grateful for whatever we have, right? Because their mindset is like they move much faster than me, so on and so forth, correct? And you were asking about how
what are some key moves or key decisions you made to help Chamulan like pick up so quickly?
Okay, so the first thing is, in this business of F&B and retail, right, one of the biggest roadblock that you have is lack of access to high traffic places, right? So this is like a game of real estate. When the incumbent players, they have all the relationship, the ties, and in the existing malls. Because in the context of Singapore, where malls have the highest traffic, right? And guess what? Everyone wants to go there and occupy places where there's high traffic so that they can make more money, correct? And if you are a new bird, guess what? you're fighting against all the F&B groups who have different brands in many different malls, correct? And one of the latest things that the China folks are doing is they come into Singapore and they go directly to the mall owners and say, hey, I want 10 stores, I want 5 stores. So guess what? They are the higher priority because right now, this is not a guy who wants to rent one unit. This guy wants to rent 10 in all my different malls, correct? So therefore, they will give him priority. And which is why you say, hey, why so many China shops opening around Singapore? It's because they have the whole lot of cash and they just do multiple. While a new SME owner, probably you just do 1, 2, that kind of thing, and you slowly do well already and expand to the next one. So this is it is what it is. It's the rich get richer, correct? And just easier for them to make more money, right? And in my case, really, thank God, I had to find people with access to the store locations. So I thankfully met one person who could help us source for all these places. And then that was when we got four places or 5 very quickly in the first few months.
Okay.
Then afterwards it's stopped, correct? Because again, it's hard to find. By the definition of good locations, it is scarce, correct? Then afterwards it's stopped because there just ain't that many more locations for us to open up. Then the biggest break came Jewel, correct? Because more people ask, hey, how do you get a Jewel, correct? It's like quite a prestigious, right? So place to be. So thank God, all the homework that I have done led up to one miraculous moment where it all happened. So just imagine, right? Every time I walk past a CapitaLand mall, I will always text my account manager in CapitaLand, which I had at about time 0 entry, right? I just text her, hey, her name's called Irene. I said, Irene, do you know of any locations or any kiosks, any shops in Tampines, in blah blah that's up for grabs not? Then she said no. I walk past Jewel and then I just say, hey Jewel, 有没有位? Got any space not? No. So she basically no for at least good 6 months. Okay. And I asked her, hey, just help me share with your colleagues everywhere, see whether they can help us look for any space or not, that kind of stuff. But for 6 months is always no, correct? Then concurrently, apart from doing all those basic work, like just like pester a bit, follow up it, right? Then we just do our own marketing, right? I just do our own marketing, our own social media, so on and so forth. And one day, 8 days came down and shoot us. Okay, 8 days came down and shoot us. Thank God that video went viral and got 1 million views and I don't know, like a lot of like tens of thousands of shares, right? And on the same day the 8 days video came out, right? Then the Jewel in charge, okay, saw the video, and then in her words, when I asked her afterwards, right, she went like, oh yeah, this brand looks familiar. Irene 好像跟我讲过这个东西. So she told Irene that day to contact. She asked Irene for our contact.
Okay.
Yes. And then I remember I was somewhere in China. Then I received a text or email from like this Jewel lady called Amanda. And then she said, hey, would you like to explore an opportunity in Jewel? And then I was like, are you kidding me? The prayers are answered, correct? But I was so happy that day. But then again, this is just like, they want you to explore having a shop in Jewel, right? Doesn't mean that they will accept you, correct? Because why? Because they have so many folks who want to go into Jewel as bubble tea brands also, correct? But they reject all of them. And then the waiting list is so long, you have endless people, correct? So they have to make sure that we don't cannibalize their existing tenants, right? Which is a Koi, correct? So they had to ask me to send in samples of our products, let them test, let the CEO test, let the management test, right? So I have to pray. So I still recall that day I sent in all the stuff, right? Then they had a meeting. Then thankfully she walked out of the meeting and she said that the whole management team deems that our staff is not bubble tea. So tada, we got a green light to go in. Yay! Yay! So we went in and then now I'm directly diagonally across Koi, right?
Okay.
And then thankfully, we're quite blessed at the area, and then we are doing well there. So then the next one's that
all that persistence pay off, and somehow it just all connected together.
Yes. So I asked her also, so why us, right? So according
to it's 8 days.
8 days. No, so 8 days is one of them.
Okay.
Correct? So she had afterwards she went to look through our social media and all, and then she see that hey, these guys they do their own marketing, so on and so forth. Why was this important? It's because, right, I mean, this is a bit behind the scenes stuff, right? For the malls and all the retail stuff, right? What the malls have a current problem. These legacy brands or these kind of brands that are like you see in many of these malls, right? They are so big and they don't do a lot of marketing, correct? As a result, then their sales might go down, or like they may not be that relevant in 2025 whatsoever it is, correct? And some of them sales just not doing well. So they have to ensure that whatever new brand they bring in, right, will also do their marketing and not rely on the mall's marketing, so that it's like, wow, you do marketing, you bring traffic to the mall. So they find you as a valuable asset.
This one is like behind the scenes, more thinking.
Yes.
More
selection criteria.
Yeah.
Yes. So I didn't know that they got this kind of consideration one. Like it's like, hey, will this guy bring more traffic to my mall? Correct?
Okay,
So-
all those people who want to get into mall, please pay attention to this.
Yes. So I had to ask them how they think, so that I can do more what they want also, right?
I see.
Yeah, so they want to do more of these things. So that they want to see more of these things. So I have another neighbor, right? Her name's called Sugar Belly, right? They sell donuts. So they do a lot of marketing, and then like they bring a lot of traffic to the mall also, correct? And then people come here, so that their business is going
Also, you are like micro influencers for the mall lah.
That's why. So
see.
they are looking for people who can bring traffic to the mall. Not you come here and leech my traffic. That was in the past.
Okay.
Correct. And then there's another one called You Cookies at Jewel. Wow, that one, the sales is so good. And they do marketing on Xiaohongshu. So they bring a lot of traffic. When the China tourists touch down, right? Then they go Xiaohongshu and you can find like what's a 打卡点, or like what's a place that I should go. Then their name pop up. Then they'll come down to the shop and buy. So now I believe right, the malls want tenants that can bring traffic to their malls. Instead of I do my best to make the mall nice here and there, then I do some events to bring traffic. You must do your part so that you can thrive and I can thrive also.
I see.
So that is something that I learned. So
New way of thinking. New retail model, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, so they have to, also that was one thing they considered our marketing. So imagine, right, if I never do any of the social media stuff and blah, 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 they also won't come and find me, right? So it's like many stars have to align. You have to do many things, right? Then it clicked. Then it's appealing to them also, right? So that's something that I learned,
Nice.
right? And so very, very interesting learnings from different parts.
I think in our past life and even now, right now, you meet many entrepreneurs, many founders, F&B or not F&B. And unfortunately in business, really it's quite a tough thing. A lot of them don't survive past the first year or the first 5 years. So what are some of the key mistakes that you always see these business people making, those not so successful ones?
I am trying to think of one person that I can visualize in mind so I can probably say some of these things, right? But I think because in the past, I used to coach SMEs in the area of marketing and sales. And one of the biggest things that I notice is they don't model after successful examples. Correct? Because success definitely leaves clues. And even for myself, since I'm going to a whole new territory, and then I have to model after someone that's already working, correct? So I have chose to model after the folks in China because they are in the most competitive market and they have done it in larger scale than us. So it's natural for me to just go there and just model after them. Correct? So similarly in Singapore and some of the folks that I have seen is that they refuse to model after a successful person or a business. Correct? And then they want to reinvent the wheel. They want to figure things out themselves. So as a result, then they therefore have to go and pay the price of all these mistakes where others have learned before. Correct? And I would advise against that. So that is a universal principle, and it is also unfortunately a universal situation that has happened for many businesses. Correct? So this is a perfect lead into your question earlier. You asked me, hey, how did you come up with the name Chamulan? Or like, how did you come up with the logo, the packaging, blah, 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 correct? Because it looks quite nice. Once again, I have decided not to use my whole brain entirely, correct?
Okay.
I want to use my brain to model after really successful folks, correct? So my partner loves the character Mulan, okay? And the English name of the business before we rebranded was called the Flower Mulan, Hua Mulan. So he didn't want to call it HUA Hua Mulan, but just he called it the Flower Mulan, okay? So with that as the foundation, and then I was just playing around with the names, correct? So who are the top brands in the tea industry, correct? Chargy, correct? Haiti, Each a Cup, and not. So what else do we have?
Gong Cha last time.
Gong Cha. So the common trend in all these, right, is one word. What is it?
Cha.
Cha, exactly. So I just put Chamulan. So that either came to me on like the first day, right, of the trying to think of a rebrand of the new name. Then I just went and test. Correct, Chamulan. So I did not immediately jump into the name, right? Correct, because I felt that the name sounds really nice and has a rhythm to it, Chamulan. but I have to confirm it, correct? So we went to the store and then we just go and ask 100 folks who just come and buy. Hey, we have two names right now. One is called Yao Pu Cha, the other one is called Chamulan. Which one do you like more? And you ask just go and poll. Because I don't care what
This
I like.
is so done like a marketer.
Yeah, I don't care what I like, correct? I must make sure that whatever you like is the one that I will eventually use.
Okay.
Correct? So then we ask, then just Chamulan. Then when I speak to other marketer friends, they also find the Chamulan got that ing liu or that the rhythm correct to it. And then it's very easily so another consideration, right, to me is, can people read it, recognize it, and remember it? The last one is the most important one, correct? Because marketing, a lot of it is not what you say, right? Is what others can repeat back to you. So if whatever I say, the guy cannot repeat back my name, then GG already, correct? So then therefore I had go and test, and Chamulan is the easiest to repeat back. So we chose that in the end.
Even the branding, the packaging also something associated.
The logo.
Uh-huh.
For folks who drink a lot of bubble tea, they might find our logo very familiar. Correct? Okay. So how did I get that logo inspiration? Okay, let me show you a bit. Have you seen Haiti?
Yes.
Do you find ours look a bit like Haiti?
Female version.
Yeah, so basically ours is just, I asked the designer, okay, you give me the Haiti person. The Haiti person is on the face to the left, right? Flip to the right.
Okay.
From a guy change to a girl.
Okay.
Then a girl make it look like Mulan.
Okay.
That was my brief. And then he did such a wonderful job. Okay, so the part that I had to give myself credit for is searching the right person to design this.
Okay.
So then again, I go and find, I went Xiaohongshu, where all the Chinese folks are. Then I went to find a designer who designed many stuff. And then that was when he gave us the first draft, and I was utterly impressed. Hey, this is exactly what we are looking for. Right? Then we just use it. Okay,
so we had a bit of commercial break because we had a Grab delivery of Chamulan. All right. So yes, just nice. We were talking about the logo, and the logo is here, as you can see, and we are all thanks to Josiah, we are all enjoying our Chamulan. So he tell me that because my voice is a bit hoarse today, so he tell me that this is good for me. This is
the Cleanse Mulan with the poached pear.
Cleanse Mulan with poached pear.
Yes.
So you realize that in this podcast, my voice gets better is because of this, all right?
100%.
Okay, so you were saying about not reinventing the wheel and how you came up with your design, how to make it memorable is because you learned from the folks in China.
Yes.
Right? And even I realized the color is a little bit different.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So the whole idea is because we are stepping on the shoulders of giants, right? Then the margin of error will then be reduced. It won't be zero, but it's reduced, right? So I'm not like starting from the scratch. So the main difference in the color over here is the pink color. So we are appealing to ladies, right? So therefore pink.
Okay.
So a large part of the customers are ladies, so we use pink. But I also know that in the future, this pink may not be something that is going to be there forever. Largely because, again, if I reference to all the brands in the world, I can't find a mega global brand that uses pink as one of the main colors in their business. It's very hard for me to find it. I so far have not found at least 3. Correct. It may be pink, maybe one of the secondary colors, that kind of stuff, but it's not the main color. But for now, we use this because the ladies, especially the aunties in the that we meet very often, they just love the pink. Yeah,
nice.
And the ladies, all the 小妹妹 also love pink color, right?
Okay. Just to also ask, to be the devil's advocate, because I think in business, we need 2 things. We need to, I think, copy or follow what works, right? But at the same time, we also need to innovate, which is try something new. So how do you balance this between these 2? How do you copy? But if you copy after a while, like bubble tea is all just bubble tea again. But you also change something. So how do you balance between innovating and copying? Because I know that people want to do innovation, right? Sometimes they want to do it because they want to be original, right? They want to be original, then original until too original, then no one wants their originality, right? Which I feel that number one, I think the US is very good at doing this. They try a lot of new things, they experiment, but a lot die, right? Then after they figure out what works, then China will just copy and do it bigger and do it faster. So personally, I mean, since with all the businesses that you have also helped before, and also for yourself, I know you do a lot of copying, but how do you balance this between innovation as well? Like, what if the next guy come and copy Chamulan and do this? Okay,
so to answer the question about like balancing innovation and copying, right? You just reminded me of one example. So I just saw this case study a few days ago about Xiaomi. Xiaomi versus Apple. So the Xiaomi's 发布会 basically where the CEO went up to introduce Xiaomi 17, correct? if I were to summarize what I saw that day, right? Basically, it is just like, hey, Apple has a new phone. So he came up and just said, hey, Apple has a new iPhone 17. It is great, right? Xiaomi has Xiaomi 17, correct? Look at Xiaomi 17. Then if he put a picture, look almost like Apple, correct? Hey, this is Apple's specs. These are our specs. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Basically, his mental model or his model of the world is, this is what you are buying right now, and I have done it and done it better, and my price is perhaps 20-30% cheaper. So that is his form of value that he's providing to the world. He is providing to you perhaps a higher spec at a cheaper price. So is he copying 100% now? He don't even bother to hide it. He just tell you, this is Apple, this is mine, correct?
They even changed the number to match.
Yes,
Apple's,
everything, bro. So for certain businesses, they have decided that the value that I want to provide to the world is 性价比, correct? I just want to provide more value, lesser price, and since you think this is fantastic, this is a gold standard, I'll give you the gold plus standard at a cheaper price. So that is one way of doing it. So how to balance it? The question is how, correct? So the simple answer is, if you look within your industry where you want to do things differently and you always study your competitors, then there's zero chance, or not zero, the probability is very low where you can innovate something, correct? Because you're just looking at people who are your peers. But if you go to a different industry, let's say you are working in F&B, but you go to the service-based industry or you go to the premium industry, and then you try to get some stuff that they are doing and that's working really well there, then you plug and play, then to this industry, this might be something new, but to the other industry, it might be something that's been overdone already, correct? So it's easier for me. I mean, I just study across the different industries and I just plug and play whatever is doing well in X, I just put it in Y. Whatever is Z, I just put it in A, correct? And to the A guys, it's like, hey, so this is very, very new, correct? This is like, so I give you an example. In the past, I was doing some, in 2017 or 18, I was doing some videos. My wife, she was in real estate at that point of time. So I literally took our education industry, seminar industries, way of doing things, like the way we run ads, the way we shot ads, and just do it for the real estate. At the point of time, the industry wasn't doing much of those. Like very little. So her friends were coming to her and like, wow, hey, your video very nice, very good, shot very well, and then the ads done very well. Wow, a lot of views, a lot of clients needs. That was because it's not overdone at the point of time, right? But in our industry, it's already overdone already. Correct? I just plug and play, just plug and play over here. So that is at least my way of, not the definitive way, but at least my way of innovating, right? I just take what
so
is
your innovation
stuff.
is to take something old from another industry and put it into your current industry.
Yes, and across disciplines, right? If you think something that's great in music and you just apply it and you edit somewhere, so you can just innovate here and there. So just across industry, across disciplines. So since I have a wide interest in different things, then I just plug and play here and there.
Yeah, this is good. This is good because I think it's always people trying to copy the same thing in the industry. Then it kind of, after a while, it becomes a bit stale. But I think you keep your thing fresh and it looks innovative as well because actually you're copying from other industries where they never see before, but to the industry, like you mentioned, it's kind of overused already. So this is fresh.
So I give you an example, right? So in current education industry, where we see a lot of speakers, they use a flip chart and then they use a lot of different colors, correct?
Yeah.
Where did they learn from? They learn from the godfather of like super learning, right? Georgi Lazarov.
Okay.
Right? So he literally takes something that works in the classroom and then for kids or whatsoever and just put it into the seminar industry, correct? Then where did these guys start to use music, correct? It's also the folks that just done it in the schools and then they find it useful and they put it inside adult environment, correct? So it's just like you go to different industries and you're going to plug and play, correct? Then where did they start using like smell and like sense in all these? Maybe they go and learn from someone else who like, hey, well, I want to infuse some scent therapy here and there. So it's like the principle is just like experience widely and go and learn widely, and wherever you go, just go and learn like what's useful there, and then they use it in elsewhere, right?
Yeah, I totally believe in this. In fact, I do this myself as well. So one of the interesting stories was that because I had to create price tiers for multiple of my companies as well and things like that. And when you have a price tier, price list, menu, sometimes you get a bit lost on what to select or which one to buy, right? Then actually that's where I had an inspiration from the bubble teas. Like, because bubble tea always say like, oh, this is the best seller, this is the most popular, this is the most top 5 flavors, right? Because bubble tea, there's a lot. Then I was like, hey, actually we can also use this for the price list as well. So I actually do learn from F&B industry as well, even in my current industry. So yeah, that's I really totally do agree with you on the fact that we need to exchange across different disciplines, different industries. Yeah.
So since you mentioned about menu and how you learn from F&B, right? Let me share with you a bit about our menu also. So it's very common when you go into a typical bubble tea store in the past or even now, then you see like freaking hell, there's like 70 choices. Correct?
Yeah.
70 choices.
Yeah.
Right? You can mix and match, you can add different toppings here and there, correct? But if you go to Chamulan one, you can see, right, that the whole menu, right, it looks like they ask, you only have 8 items or you only have 10 plus items? And the answer is yes, because there will always be a paradox of choice, correct? You cannot choose when there's too many options. So therefore, I already pre-selected for you and in pre-selected combinations for you. And that's how we reduce the menu. And if you go to my jewel store, you will see that most folks on a TV, they'll put many things and they'll rotate the menu, so on and so forth, correct? But then I only put 6 items there. And then I just tell you these are top 6. Why? Because if you come to a store and I got 70 for you to choose, we're a new brand, right? Then you can't choose anything, correct? I tell you these are top 6. Then you just choose easier. So it's the same thing also, right? We're just applying like things that we have used and we know what worked well in the past, which is like we help guide them in certain choices and minimize their paralysis and then just put it into a menu. So you can see that I was a bit different from...
I love this. So by the way, guys, if you think this is an F&B podcast, it's not, okay? It's a business podcast, which you also can use for your own businesses as well. So do pay attention to that. I think that was cool, actually. Yeah, so thank you very much. So Josiah, so we talked a lot about how, it's been great. You've been expanding very rapidly. Can you share with us some of the struggles that you're facing in running a business? Maybe it's in the operations, maybe in the hiring. I don't know. What's some of your big struggles?
So my biggest struggle right now, right, is location expansion, right? So this is a case of like scarce real estate. So the definition of good malls and good high traffic places, right, is scarce. It's scarce because like not everyone goes to every single mall. There'll be certain malls with oversized traffic. And therefore, in these particular places, it's hard to go in, correct? Like your Vivo, Tampines Mall, so on and so forth. So my biggest challenge now is to go into these places. So I have difficulty getting into malls, and the average waiting time can be 3 years, 5 years. I don't know.
Wow.
Can be, because like, there are long queue of people who want to go in. There are very, very limited kiosk shops here and there. So that's the biggest struggle. So how am I overcoming that? I'm first of all, I'm praying. I don't have a clear answer, but I am speaking to the different mall ICs, the different landlords to see how we can get more. Because if I cannot get into good places, my alternative choice is to get into B or C's, correct? And doing those moves is worse move. Yeah. Then they're not doing anything.
Yes.
Correct. So
wow, this is good too. Rather don't do anything than to do something bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have franchisees who ask us, "Hey, can I go into this particular mall?" Correct. And I say, and I look at it, and the answer is, to me, is no lah. Why? Just because a big brand is there, that doesn't mean that it is viable for us to go there, right? Because maybe they are at a stage where they are already at all the A places already, or the S tier or the A tier all taken already. So they go to the B and C to park their presence, and sometimes they go in there just so that you won't go in there, right? This is something that I learned from the folks. They go and occupy a space. Even if they don't make money or they break even or whatsoever, right? It's just so that you won't go there only. So you cannot expand there. So they would rather park a presence there than having a competitor be there or having a potential competitor be there. So just because you see a guy there, please don't assume.
So even when you copy, must copy wisely. Don't anyhow copy.
Yeah. Must copy wisely. And then I told him, if you really want a place, you go and hire part-time. Go and make them sit at a place one whole day, one whole week. Go and count how many sales do these other guys get.
Oh, wow. This one, research.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, and you spend 5-6 figures to go and open up a shop, it is much more expensive than you hire a part-timer for one whole month, go down there, 3K or whatever, you go and sit down there and just count numbers, correct? Wow, that one is a much more expensive mistake.
So it's been wonderful having Josiah here with us. Maybe before we wrap up, right, I just want to ask you, so what's next for you? Or what's next for Chamulan?
I also pray about it every day, bro. I don't have the answer. So
what can we look forward to? A new store?
Like I told you earlier, my challenge, right, is getting new stores, right? So that one I'm just like always looking for partners, looking for more landlords, so on and so forth, to find the good places where we can expand to. Lor. So
What
it's
else, what else can the viewers look forward to? New, you have a new store in
Oh,
Suntec,
okay.
right?
Yes,
Or
this is something that
new flavors?
no.
I don't know. You share
I
with
told
us.
you before.
Uh-huh.
We came into here, right? Right outside. I told you I'm working on something interesting, right? That gets me really excited about. So this project is called Give Thanks.
Okay.
So essentially, I am finding people. So the whole project is about appreciating people who have made a difference in our lives, right? It could be kid appreciating their parents appreciating their kid, student to the teacher to the student, so on and so forth, correct? So yesterday was the first time I recorded the episode 1 of Give Thanks. So I went to find a friend and I asked him, right, hey, so what's something that you have never told your mom and dad about? Correct. So I found out about his message and then I surprised his mom at her workplace and she was very, very surprised. And I brought them gifts of Chamulan and then I read her the message from the son and she was very surprised and happy. So that's something that I find very meaningful and excites me. So that's what I'm doing more of as well. Spreading good vibes, gratitude. And at the same time, that is one of the content series or channels that I'm going to use to subtly promote Chamulan for me. So I'm just looking forward to more folks that I can do this with.
Okay, so if you guys are looking to surprise
your loved ones,
yes,
you can reach out to me.
Reach out to him or just get them a Chamulan. It's actually I drank it quite a few times already, and I think it's very easy to drink. I introduce it to my friends and families around, so I encourage you to try it out. Yeah. So Josiah, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing very exciting, very insightful stuff, especially into the F&B and how the malls thing. And I love the part where you talked about things like learning from other industries, how to balance between being innovative as well as copying what works. So once again, very glad to have you here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.